Hey, let me take a minute and answer one of the most common questions, hands down, that I get, it feels like daily. Dr. Mike, why did you choose to become a chiropractor? So for me to properly be able to tell this story, we actually have to go back and let me tell you a short story about my grandfather. You know, growing up, and still to this day, my grandfather was my role model. And so, you know, growing up, I try to spend a lot of time with him. And, you know, my grandfather, he grew up in the Great Depression era. And so when it was time for him to get a job, he had two choices. Number one, become a teacher. Number two, become a plumber. Teacher, a little easier job, less pay. Plumber, harder job, more pay. For him, the answer was simple. The type of guy he was, he said, this is for my family, I'm gonna be a plumber. And so that's what he did for, seems like forever. And along the way, you know, just being a man who liked to give and liked to have fun. He wanted to play hard, work hard. He would always help different family members out, different friends out with any chores around the house or any repairs, anything like that, because he was a hands-on guy. And the type of guy he was is he didn't really accept payment for, to my knowledge, anything. And because of that, people loved the guy. You know, he'd show up to, you know, a bar or event or whatever, and everybody would say, hey, Joe's here, you know? And it was just such a joyous event, and as a kid, that was so cool for me to see. People looked up to my grandfather for help and support, and as a friend. So now, let's fast forward X amount of years, and we're to my brother's wedding. And we find out, you know, my grandpa's taking a long time to get ready, and so we go up to his room and find out he's in unbearable hip pain. Now this was real concerning to us because he never complained, let alone pain. So we take him in and we find out he's got stage 4 cancer. Now, not only was this devastating, but to me this was irritating because many years before, the doctors found out that he had some precancerous cells in his bladder. I think it caused maybe some blood in his urine, but they said, you know, Joe, don't worry about it, we'll zap it and it'll go away. And if it comes back, we'll zap it again and it'll go away. You know, simple as that. And so when we find out he's got stage 4 cancer, where he's got not only cancer in his bladder, but he's got it in his lungs, in his bones, in his, you know, everywhere. So I'm thinking, well, what the heck? I thought they were zapping it, Mom. I thought they were zapping it. You know, and so we all know how that story ends. You know, so I lose a grandfather to how I felt at the time, and still now, is the medical system failed him and us and our whole family. And so coming out of that, I had the questions of, you know, what's going on? Like, I thought these doctors knew what they're doing. And a lot of times they do, but they're missing the boat on where true health is really coming from. True health does not come from inside pill bottles and doing all these therapies where we're just pushing off the pain and the symptoms and ignoring what's actually causing it. You know, because if someone's got depression, what do we tell them? Go take an antidepressant. If they have pain, what do we tell them? Go take pain med or an aspirin. If you're tired, just go have a third cup of coffee. And so I don't want to live in a country or a world that's how we see it. You know, instead I want us to be able to look at any of these symptoms, whether it's depression, whether it's, you know, being too tired, whether it's any aches and pains, that these are clues that something's going on inside the body that we need to attend to. You know, whether it's something that we're eating, whether it's our emotional status and stress, you know, whether it's any physical symptoms like, or causes such as, you know, slips, falls, car accidents, whatever it may be. And so I wanted to take it on my own to be the guy who stops problems before they're actually problems. So this is an inspiration. Thank you, Grandpa. I know you went the hard way to teach me this lesson, but it got me to where I am today, and I'm grateful.